All right. I hope you guys can hear me. My husband decided to leave his TV playing. The game is on, and the Browns are playing today. That's the best way to explain it. So we're gonna talk about SmackDown because SmackDown was very short and sweet today. There was not a lot going on SmackDown, which is usually not the case. But given the fact that the tag teams was banged up last week, this past weekend, and there was so much happening, they had to kind of calm everything down and let everything set itself back up. You know what I'm saying? So first things first. Hi, how are you guys doing? Listen, John Cena showed back up over here, and it's like he never left. He has returned to his former self, and he has made it very, very clear that although he is afraid, he has never backed down from a fight, and he never will. This has led to Logan Paul coming out for some reason, and this is set up the match between Logan Paul and John Cena at Clash in Paris, rather than having John Cena face off against somebody else, or probably the fact that Brock Lesnar isn't going to show up until after all of that, or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. Okay, John Cena is going to be facing off against Logan Paul at Clash in Paris, and he's probably. I'm not going to tell you how it's going to go because I'm not going to watch it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. I kind of figured they needed to set him up with something. I just didn't think that it would be on SmackDown. I'm very confused about Logan Paul. I understand that he's supposed to be a SmackDown wrestler, but he jumps from show to show often, so there's no real solid place for him, actually. But he seems to be very close and tight lipped or tight with Drew McIntyre for some reason. And Drew McIntyre is now somebody who is in the running to go after the championship with Cody Rhodes. And this is after we saw John get jumped by both of them, and Cody came out for the save. And it led to a tag team match that was set up for later on tonight. Then afterwards, we had the Motor City Machine Guns facing off against MFT. MFT came out there, they had their match, and they cheated as per the usual. I'm not really surprised that they did. They cheated, and that was that. They won the match. Everything seemed to be done, and then Solo got on the microphone and he was like, "Oh, I'm dressed and I don't have nobody to face off against, but I'm ready to go or whatever. So I'm just gonna leave with my MFT, and we gonna go ahead and go about our business and go celebrate. Let's go." Nick was like, no, 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 no. You gonna get your ass back in that ring because I got somebody that can wrestle you, and they Montreal's hometown boy, and it was none other than Sami Zayn. Now Sami Zayn was out there alone. There was no Jacob, and there was no Jimmy. It was just Sammy. And Sammy ended up beating Solo with a roll up pin, even after Tala, Tonga, and No Neck Mateo got involved. All three of them were involved in this match heavily, and Sammy was still able to pull out the win. Sir, I don't know how they're gonna go from here. Sami Zayn is a Raw wrestler, but that doesn't mean that he can't, swoop on over. Hold tight, y'all. All right, y'all. Sorry. All right, so Sammy beat Solo fair and square. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but he did beat him. He did beat him clean. Now after that, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss went to the ring. It was Bliss's birthday recently. I don't know if it was today. I can't remember. But it was Bliss's birthday, and she decided to give her a new doll, and the doll was of her. It was of her, and the other present that she gave Bliss was a hug from the Queen, which she loved, of course. And this led to an impromptu match with Chelsea. Chelsea and her Secret Her service came out there, and they ended up having a match. Charlotte was able to win. She also gave Bliss a cake, and the cake was the focal point because for whatever reason, the Secret Her service decided to put the cake in the ring, and they did it in front of the referee. The ref watched them. The ref watched them put the cake in front of Chelsea. Chelsea's like, yes, the cake. Love this, love this. And I'm just like, girl, we can see you. We can see you, ma'am. She ain't care. Girl, she got that damn cake. She thought she was getting ready to tear Charlotte up with that unpretty her. Charlotte basically flipped that shit around and did the move to her. And then she put her in the figure eight, and that girl licked the icing off her face and then bridged. Child, when the match was over, they got her out of there. They grabbed a piece of cake and shared the piece of cake with Bliss together. And that's how that went. And I said, this is so cute and campy. I love it. It was hilarious. But anywhoosies, so after this, we had the Motor City Machine Guns facing off against MFT. We had Charlotte going up against Chelsea, and we had Sammy go up against Solo. Those were the three main matches of the night. Now, there was some backstage discourse. The Miz was going into the office for Nick Aldis, but Nick Aldis was not in the office. This is when Carmelo walked up and was like, yo, you were supposed to be helping me. I thought we was cool, but you disappear on me for like 2 months. Like, what's good? And Miz kind of reassures him and says, hey, don't worry about it. I just got done talking to Nick. We having a conversation. I got you. It's, all's him. It's all's him, or whatever they call themselves. And Carmelo says, all right, cool. Walks away. Nick Aldis walks up and he was like, okay, what was that about? And Mills was like, that? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Can we talk? Can I rap with you right quick? And Nick was like, sure, sure. Got him in the office. So some shit's about to go down. So hopefully this is gonna be a building block for um hopefully this is gonna be a building block for Carmelo Hayes, because I would love to see Carmelo on TV more. I would love to see him wrestling more, and I just would love to see Carmelo going. And I think that if they give him the ball, he can run with it if given the opportunity. So I'm very, very curious about this and how it's going to work, especially if Miz is going to be the one to put him over. I'm just waiting to see what they're gonna do. So let me get some of this cookie. Okay, so after the girls had their match, the next thing we saw was Tiffany Stratton. If you want more information, the simplest thing is Tiffany basically was just like, I told you I was gonna win and I won. And then Jade walked up and was like, girl, the only reason why you beat me is because you was able to get your foot on that rope. If it wasn't for that rope, your ass would be sitting here singing Sugar the Coulda Wouldas, and I would be shining my new champion. But rest assured, the next time you and I meet, I'm taking that championship. And of course, Tiffany, like, you can always come back and come and get it if try and come and get it, but the outcome's going to remain the same. I said, okay, girl. So not only was she approached by, you got fuck ass Kiana and Julia rolling up. To be honest, I didn't even really get to hear what she said, but I guess it was a championship opportunity or whatever. I don't know. I just thought it was weird that they would go to the people. I, I just found that to be weird. I was like, what is this? Then Okay. Then Chin was like, "Well, if you ain't gonna take her up on her offer, I definitely will. So let me get that card about you." And Jay was like, "All right, man." And then Jay like, "What is going on? All these people is walking up to me. This is crazy." So that's how that went down. Oh, they was trying to recruit her. Ew, that's gross. Nobody want to be around fuck ass Kiana. Anyway, let's get to the last match of the night because it really wasn't a lot going on SmackDown. Honestly, at the end of the show, John Cena and Logan Paul and Cody and Drew had a tag team match. Hiram, please, okay, please. Y'all love cheering mediocrity, child. I swear to God, she could come out there with that raggedy ass bag and not say nothing and not do nothing, and y'all be like, as she should. Please, my God, today nobody give a shit about fuck ass Kiana. Anyway, John, Cody, Drew, and Logan tag team match. The match never finished. Logan ended up low blowing John Cena, and they ended up going into the back fighting. This led to Cody and Drew fighting each other, from which, to be honest, Cody gave the first strike, and they was going at it. And then things took a turn when Cody grabbed the belt, and when Drew grabbed the belt and hit Cody in the head, that's when everything shifted and changed. Because it looked like Cody was trying to, do something on the table, but that didn't work. Cody got hit in the head with the belt, and then Cody fell to the ground, and then Drew Claymore kicked the man through the bottom of the table. I was like, what is going on? So clearly, Drew is set up to be the next opponent for Cody Rhodes going into Clash in Paris, which makes sense in my opinion. I don't have a problem with that. Get him out the way. He on quite the losing streak for Clash. He ain't won at Clash yet, and he ain't gonna win in Paris either. So do whatever makes you happy. That's how it went off, child. That was it. There was nothing else to SmackDown that needed to be talked about or discussed. I'm just being 1000% honest with you. That was it. That was all. They didn't give us nothing else. It was like they had the bare minimum there at SmackDown, and there was nothing else that they needed or could do. It's crazy. But for the most part, that was it. That was all. That's all we got for SmackDown. I saw a lot of people was in confusion when it came to the WWE ESPN deal. I explained it on our last show. Freestyle Wednesday is up. It's only a few hours, but I think I got it set up for chapters, so you can like go ahead. You can skip ahead on the chapters for the show for Freestyle Wednesday. You don't have to sit and listen to everything if you don't want to, but it is up, so you can listen to that. What else? I don't think we got nothing else going on. Members, be on the lookout for some new content. It's coming. The analysis for Seth Rollins, I'm still working on it. I don't want to put it up and it's not right or up to my standards. Um, I didn't see the Street Profits in DIY. I didn't see them. Were they? What happened with them? They was arguing and fighting. Cause I was literally, I left out the room for a few seconds. I asked my husband what happened, but he ain't tell me nothing about the Street Profits and DIY. So what happened with them? Hiram, please, please, don't piss me off today. Okay. So I'm sorry, Kira. I'm sorry, girl. I didn't see it. So, oh, they got a match next week. They got a match next week. Okay, I wish it was a 6-man tag team match. It was intergender, so Candice and BFAB could be in the match. Like, why would they just give them a match? Like, that's weird. But anyways, um, so next week, of course, I'm not going to be able to cover Monday Night Raw for commentary or doing the live afterwards. I'm just not going to be able to do it. I will be back the following week, but I'm just not gonna be able to cover Raw. I will be here for Freestyle Wednesday, so you don't have to worry about that. And I will still be here for SmackDown. I'll be covering SmackDown next week, but I'm gonna miss Raw and NXT because I have something I have to do, and I'm not gonna be able to watch it and cover it in time. So I'm just not gonna be able to do that. But I'll be back the following week and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm just gonna miss Monday. Every other day that I go live, I'll be here. We'll be talking and chit chatting and all that good shit. Okay. But I hope y'all don't be too mad. That's what I thought they was gonna do. They might just have Candice and BFAB face off in a singles match. I think they should be in a tag team match. Like, I want them all together. I feel like they're in a group anyway, so they might as well put BFAB in the match along with Candice. Let them kill two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? And then you can have the other women competing. Like, you can start the feud between Michin and Julia if you really wanted to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it work. You know, do something. But anyways, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little recap. I was only on here for 17 minutes. I promise y'all that SmackDown was short and sweet. It really was not a lot going on. John Cena took up, I say they gave him a good 15 minutes. 15, 20, maybe 20 max. They gave him at the beginning of the show. So the show went by really fast. And before I knew it, like, we was at the last match. And I was like, I've only seen 3 matches today. Like, what is going on? So I'm trying to at least make it to like 30 minutes or like at least get me at 20 minutes. So y'all let me know what y'all want to see. I don't know. I might go live Saturday and do a little extra. You know what I'm saying? Do a little extra, work, and we'll do some reading and chill. Rico said he got his 2 chapters done. So if y'all want me to finish those out, I will. I'll tell him to do a recap or whatever. Um, Let me see. What did Don say? He said, no, they gotta save that for a Friday before PLE. What, the 6-man tag I was suggesting? Candace got a big ass bruise on her thigh. You would too if you fell from the top of a damn ladder onto the floor. Candace is a lot of things, but a slouch ain't one of them. I appreciate that, Aaliyah. It's just gonna be Monday, and then Wednesday, I'm not gonna cover NXT because I'm not gonna watch it. So, I'll be back Wednesday. We'll talk about everything else, or I'll let everybody else come in and cover the shows for me because I won't have nothing to give. I won't have no commentary for it. So Wednesday, what I'll do is we'll let y'all come in and cover the stuff and tell me what y'all thought. He said, "Yeah, you know how they do." I know, child, a miss. But anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all for coming in here. I think I'm at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna get my ass up off of here. I might come back tomorrow. I might not, for real, for real. But I appreciate y'all coming in here, chit chat with me for a little bit of time because it really wasn't nothing happening on SmackDown for me to be in here for no hour talking about it. But I will say this: they did set up a few things. They haven't set nothing up for Tiffany, which is very, very interesting to me. That it just seems like Tiffany and Jade are circling each other, and I wish they would have just pulled the trigger on Jade from the very beginning at SummerSlam and let that be what it was. Obviously Nia Jax is over on NXT for right now, But they should have had Lash pop up over in SmackDown and Nia be in the back and Lash attacked her backstage. That's what they should have done. But we know what's happening with the champ, and of course John Cena. That is set in stone. John Cena is facing off against Logan Paul, and more than likely, Cody Rhodes will face off against Drew McIntyre at Clash in Paris. Now, the only thing that is not set up is Tiffany Stratton, Solo Sokoa, and Julia. But it looked like Julia might have Michin that she's fighting at Clash in Paris, which is fair because Julia was not on the card for SummerSlam. And then if they don't if Tiffany doesn't defend her title at Clash in Paris, which I would find to be very interesting. Personally, it's since they ain't got nobody else to go up against her, put Chelsea on her. Chelsea is fun. She'll at least make her fun and relevant. Because Tiffany Stratton is boring. Now, Solo could face off against Sammy for the United States Championship, but if I was Sammy, I wouldn't want to do that. I think that the match that happened in Montreal today was a one-off thing, and he's gonna go back to Raw, and he's probably gonna get tangled up with the situation with Rusev and Sheamus because they kept fighting and they involved him in the fight. So there's that. But I have an idea that I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna leave. So everybody's wondering who John Cena's last match should be. And I feel like it's as long as Karrion and Scarlett's deal, their contracts are renegotiated and they resign, the last person to wrestle John Cena should be Karrion Cross. Now, hear me out. Karrion Cross is just getting over, and this will be the really big piece that he would need to push him over. He can use that win as a sounding board to push him over the top. And if I were them, I would give Karrion the Intercontinental Championship like right after that. At like after Royal Rumble, he would get the IC title and then he would run through, win at some WrestleMania, and he might drop it like at one of the PLEs in between SummerSlam and Backlash. Like in between SummerSlam and Money in the Bank is when he might drop it. And then he would be somebody that I would build up the next person to go after a championship. More than likely, the World Heavyweight title would be the one that I would have Karrion Cross go after. By year 2027, Karrion Cross will either have been champion or he will be getting the title. That's how I would set it up. But that's just me. And now I'm finna leave you with that. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all. Hiram said turn off y'all locations over on Instagram. Instagram now has maps. So if you haven't noticed it, it's at the top of your screen over there where your direct messages is, where you see the little bubbles of your close friends, basically, telling, giving you little notes. There's a little bubble there that says maps, and it'll show you everybody's map and like where everybody is or where they put their last post or whatever. If that's the case, you need to turn your locations off. My location is always off. Okay. Mine is always off. But turn yours off so people don't know where you are because that is dangerous to have locations on your social media. Turn it off. Don't ever leave that shit on. I don't care where you are. Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Turn it off. All right, bye. Bye.